joining us on the Ektv News at 7. I am Tosin Olowo. Once again, Merry Christmas. Christians across the world today celebrate Christmas. The day is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, who was born in a manger, a place reserved for animals in Bethlehem. In Ektv State, Christians last night converged at the various churches for Christmas Eve. The federal government had declared today and tomorrow public holidays to celebrate Christmas and Boxing Day. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians of a new dawn of prosperity. He urged them to rekindle hope in his administration's commitment to greater public welfare. In his first Christmas message to Nigerians, President Tinubu implored Nigerians to maintain their fidelity to their fatherland. He said his government would continue to intervene and mitigate public suffering through palliatives while intensifying work on full economic recovery. And the Ektv State Governor, Mr. Iroyin, has congratulated Christians in the country and Ektv State in particular for witnessing another Christmas, urging them to put into proper use the lessons of love and giving which the birth of Jesus Christ symbolizes. Oyebanji, in a goodwill message signed by his special advisor Media Nyiko Yebodi, said Christmas is a season to demonstrate love for one another through giving, adding that expression of love, generosity and understanding to extend beyond the lesson, leading to peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. The governor admonished Nigerians to extend a helping hand to one another during this Yuletide and beyond, especially to the less privileged. He reiterated his administration's commitment to promoting peaceful coexistence of adherents of all religions in the state and creating a conducive atmosphere to practice their faith. In the same vein, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Mr. Iroyin, has felicitated the government and people of the state on this year's celebration of the birth of Christ. The Speaker, in a statement by his Special Advisor Media, Babajide Agbeyo, emphasized the significance of the season, which introduced Christ to the world as a savior, reformer, and giver of joy. He advised people not to live above their means during the festive season, stressing that prudence and proper planning towards the new year is imperative. Iroyin echoed the determination of the 7th Assembly under his leadership to effectively and continually collaborate with the executive arm of it to ensure optimal delivery of the dividends of democracy to Ekiti people. In a related development, the Chief Medical Director of Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital at Ekiti, Professor Kayode Olabanji, has rejoiced with Christians for this year's celebration. In his goodwill message, the Chief Medical Director said it acknowledged the grace of God for sustainability despite the various challenges in the country. The CMD urged Christians to use the period to pray for the country and Ekiti State for peace to continue to reign. He appreciated the effort of members of staff of the hospital for their sacrifice and dedication to duty at all times. He advised them not to relent in giving their best as he assured them of the management's commitment to their welfare. Still on the issue of Christmas, the Catholic Bishop of Ekiti Diocese, Matthew Kuka, has told President Bola Tinubu that neither God nor history will forgive him if he fails to deliver on his promised renewed hope, having striven for years to be at the aim of affairs of the nation. Bishop Kuka said this in his Christmas message, adding that now that the former Lagos governor is on the driving seat, Nigeria must turn the corner under his watch. According to Kuka, Tinubu must have had enough time to think of the answers to any questions that are crying for answers, and that under his watch, Nigerians must end the ugly instrumentalization of religious, ethnic, and regional identities. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has extended Christmas greetings to Nigerians, urging them to embrace love, peace, humility, and sacrifice. In his 2023 Christmas message, the former president emphasized the significance of the season in fostering unity and rebuilding the nation. Jonathan encouraged citizens to uphold moral principles, exhibit faith, and contribute to the progress of the country through acts of love and kindness. Also, the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, has expressed sadness that most Nigerians will be celebrating this year's Christmas on empty stomach due to bad leadership. Abure, who said this in his Christmas message to Nigerians, however, called on Nigerians to let the lessons learned from the birth of Jesus Christ guide their lives individually and collectively in order to make the world a beautiful place to live. In the same vein, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has called on President Bola Tinubu and other political leaders to use the festive period to seek creative measures to lift Nigerians out of the present suffering and hardship. The NLC President Joe Ajero, who made this call in his Christmas message, said instead of earn-outs, Nigerians expect from government concrete actions with solid results. Some poultry farmers in Buhari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja have decried the incessant rise in the cost of poultry feeds. They also ground over low patronage in the sale of birds in the market. The farmers expressed their concern and called on producers and suppliers to consider a reasonable intervention. One of the farmers, Mrs. Joy Felix, said that although poultry farming was a profitable business that involved a lot of capital, it had however suffered setback at the point of sales. You're still watching Ektv News to 7. We'll go on a short break for some adverts, then we'll come back for more news. Please don't go away.
It's the season to reflect on how far you've come.
Get everything done. Workout mix, please.
And the endless opportunities that lie ahead.
Guys, I'll make my decision and get back to you.
For every one of us. So here's wishing you incredible surprises.
Which one is mine?
All 8 of them.
And a prosperous new year, this season and beyond. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. No need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids.
Of the news. Still on the season, 250 elderly citizens from Ektv State have been empowered with 100,000 naira each by the Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme of the wife of the Nigerian President, Senator Lekunrere Tinubu. Handing over the cash to the beneficiaries in Ado, Senator Tinubu, the state's First Lady, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun-Yebanji, said the empowerment was also to cushion the effect of the economic situation on the elders this festive period. Ademola Adeleke has details. In our
I present you this token to commemorate this Yenusa period.
Senator Tinubu explained that the maiden edition of the empowerment, which will be done across 36 states of the Federation simultaneously, was to honor the elders and acknowledge their contributions to the growth of the nation. He said a total sum of 950 million naira was approved by the governing board of the Renewed Hope Initiative, out of which each state got 25 million naira.
Mama gave 950 million towards this project. Let us appreciate her. This is not government money. It's her personal resources. You know, there is a program, there is a pet project of Mama, the Renewed Hope Initiative. How what the husband is doing. And it's like my wild project that I'm doing with it. It's not government project. What we do is to look for money here and there. So I think support from here and there the Mama gathered with her personal resources. It's a federal government program.
The chairman, Ektv State All Progressives Congress Elders Forum, Elder Muyiwa Igbalajobi, thanked the at this period, describing it as one of its kind.
On behalf of Ektv State APC Elders Forum, we want to congratulate the governor and his wife, also the children. We also appreciate the contributions of that family to the entire members of the State APC Elders Forum for their generosity, love, concern, and the desire to make all the.
And the chairperson of the forum, Chief Roke Okusoya, appreciated the efforts of Nigeria's First Lady for the Lages. The elders have the opportunity of undergoing medical checkup during the program. Ademola Adeleke reporting.
The Ektv State Deputy Governor Kinwa Monisadi Afuya has applauded traditional rulers for their selfless service in their various domains aimed at ensuring peace in the state. The Deputy Governor gave the applause during the end of the year get-together of majority obas of Ekiti land, Mobile, held at Ifakeke. He says traditional institution is pivotal to the success of any nation. Adele has details.
Okinwa Afuye, who is a special guest of honor at the event, thanked the traditional rulers for their support for the present administration. The Deputy Governor said that the roles of members of the majority obas in the development of the state cannot be underestimated.
Let me say loud and clear that the administration of Governor Biodo Abayomi has great respect for our royal fathers, regardless of classes and size of the town. That was why His Excellency has not been interfering with the selection of obas in towns and villages.
Okinwa Afuye assured the obas that the present administration would not undermine their authority, adding that their well-being would always be prioritized.
The current administration has also adopted the policy of patronizing the welfare of Ekiti obas. This government adopted to give respect and honor to the royalty, and this will continue to be because of the useful role you are playing in our individual villages.
She tasked the traditional rulers to contribute more to end the rising spate of insecurity in the country, especially cases of kidnapping, robbery attacks, and bloodshed being witnessed across the nation. The chairman of Mobile and the Olono of Omoke, Oba Valentine Utitoju, lauded the governor for his love for traditional institutions. Even needed backing, Oba Utitoju urged Ekiti Obas to be united in the task of building a prosperous for the populace. Prayers were offered for Governor Biodo Yibanji, his deputy Okinwa Monisadi Afuye, and Ekiti people in general at the program. Adedayo Adele reporting.
The Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide has begged President Bola Tinubu to free the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, as a Christmas gift to the Igbo. The President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Chief Emmanuel Nwanyawo, made the appeal in a statement to newsmen in Owerri as part of his Christmas message through his special advisor media and publicity, Ben Osuago. Kanu has been in the detention facility of the State Security Services in Abuja for over 2 years, facing allegations of terrorism leveled against him by the federal government. And still on the seasons related observing Christmas on the a significant departure from the traditional celebration date. In Ukraine, Julian calendar has long been observed, aligned with Russia's practice, resulting in Christmas being celebrated on January 7th. It is now celebrating Christmas calendar, which it utilizes in daily life, which is another departure from Russia. The president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, amended the legislation in July, declaring that it was now permissible for Ukrainians to abandon the Russian heritage of celebrating Christmas in January. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has visited President Bola Tinubu in Lagos and presented a 7-point agenda towards moving Nigeria forward. Speaking with newsmen after visiting the president, Soyinka recalled that on his earlier visit to Tinubu, it was to tell him not to run for president, noting that the former Lagos State Governor ignored his advice. Soyinka, however, refused to rate Tinubu's performance in office so far, saying his assessment of the current administration will come after 1 year in office. This had been his tradition with Tinubu's predecessors over the years. And President Bola Tinubu has celebrated the national chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, on his 74th birthday. Extolling the leadership hallmarks of the former governor of Kano State, the president described Ganduje as a thoroughbred Democrat who has devoted his life to the service of the issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ganduje as a loyal friend and a dependable ally. The Zamfara state government has earmarked 1.3 billion naira in the 2024 appropriation bill for the digitalization of the state-owned radio and television stations and legacy newspapers company. The State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Mani Adara, gave the information in Gusau after defending the ministry budget before the State House of Assembly. Committee on Finance and Appropriation had presented 423.5 billion naira 2024 appropriation bill to the House for approval. Idara further said that the digitalization project was policy to revive the media industry in the state. Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, MPAN, says newspapers' cover price will rise from next week. The association inked the decision on rise in the cover price on high production costs and the prevailing economic situation. MPAN's Executive Secretary, Mr. Feyi Smith, noted that inflation and the devaluation of the naira had had negative cost and profit margins. The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC says no life was lost in the crash that occurred on Abuja-Kefi Expressway. The Corps Public Education Officer, Deputy Corps Marshal Bisi Kazim, revealed this in a statement in Abuja. Kazim, who commended the media for their watchdog roles, however, said it was important to explain the sensitive issue to avoid misrepresentation of fact and misinformation. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has charged newly promoted military officers of the Nigerian Armed Forces to end insecurity in the country. Matawale gave the charge in his congratulatory message to the promoted officers. He emphasized the critical role they need to play in addressing the prevailing challenges on insecurity. To health matters, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention says diarrhea has killed 554 persons across 148 local government areas in 20 states. The center said that the country had recorded 12,086 confirmed cases of diarrhea. NSCDC gave the information in the situation report posted on its website. The General Assembly has approved a 3.59 billion budget for the United Nations for 2024, including to finance the organization's peace building fund. The Office of the President of the General Assembly gave the information in a statement. According to the statement, the budget was approved on Friday. 193-member General Assembly also adopted nearly $50,000 additional funding for decisions taken by the Human Rights Council, the UN's primary forum on human rights matters. And still from the foreign scene, floods caused by intense rainfall have affected tens of thousands of people in Thailand's deep south, with some roads and railway lines forced to close. At least a dozen schools in the provinces of Yala and Naratwal have been forced to close, while footage from the region showed homes and shops flooded with murky brown waters and residents taking refuge on upper floors. The heavy rains have also caused problems at sea, with at least 7 boats sunk in the Gulf of Thailand. Friday, authorities have warned residents in the provinces to be ready to evacuate if the flood get worse. And to sports, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has announced the kickoff date for the qualifiers of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The preliminary round will take place from March 18 to 26 next year. The first and the second for September 2 to 10 of next year, while the third and the fourth round games will take place from September 7 to 15. The final round of the qualifiers is slated for November 11 to year. Morocco will host the 2025 AFCON after Guinea was stripped of the hosting rights. And that's the Ektv News at 7. Thank you so much for being part of the news. You stand by for the Yoruba version. And from all of us, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a wonderful good night. Ẹ̀kálẹ́ ẹ̀sìnkú bọ̀kọ̀ sísẹ́ ọdún kérésìmesì káàbọ̀ sórí ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fún tàṣálẹ́ òní Bùkọ́lá Adébùkọ́lá lórúkọ tèmi. Àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì káàkiri àgbáyé ló ṣe àjọ̀dún kérésì lónìí. Àyájọ́ yìí ló jẹ́ ọjọ́ ìbí Jésù Kristi tí wọ́n bí ní ibùgbé ẹran ní Bethlehem ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì ló kóra wọn jọ káàkiri ìjọ ní alẹ́ àná láti ṣe àìsùn òní àti ọ̀la pọ̀pọ̀ sísìn ọdún náà. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu ti sọ pé ìjọba yóò máa ti láti má dínkù bá ìnira táwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún láwùjọ ń kojú. Ó rọ̀ wọ́n láti ní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé nínú ìjọba òun wípé òun yóò ṣètò ìgbáyégbádùn fáwọn aráàlú. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni kú ọdún rẹ̀ fọdún kérésìmesì, Ààrẹ Tinubu rọ àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà pé ìjọba yóò máa tẹ̀síwájú láti má dínkù bá ìnira tí wọ́n kojú nípa ètò ìrànwọ́ ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ti sọ pé ọdún 2024 ni yóò jẹ́ ọdún ọ̀pọ̀ fún orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láìwo ti ìpèníjà tó ń kojú orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó káwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì kú oríire ojú tó rọ́dún kérésìmesì pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀wà sí wọn láti ṣàmúlò ẹ̀mí ìfẹ́ àti ìfitọrẹ tó jẹ́ àpẹẹrẹ ọjọ́ ìbí Jésù Kristi. Ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni kú ọdún rẹ̀ tí akọ̀wé ìròyìn àgbà rẹ̀ Yínká Oyèbọ̀dé síta sọ wípé ọdún kérésìmesì ló jẹ́ àsìkò ìtọrẹ àánú àti ṣíṣe àmúṣe ìwà àlàáfíà láàrin àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Gómìnà wa rọ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti nawọ́ ìfẹ́ sí ẹnìkejì wọn lásìkò pọ̀pọ̀ ṣìnṣìn ọdún yìí, ní pàtàkì àwọn tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó fún láwùjọ. lọ́nà mìíràn olórí ilé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adéoyè Àríbásóyè ti kí ìjọba ìyà àti àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí kú àjọ̀dún ọdún kérésìmesì tó jẹ́ ọjọ́ àtẹ̀jáde tí Babájídé pàtàkì fító ìròyìn rẹ̀ Babájídé àgbéyọ fi síta tí mọ́ ìdí pàtàkì tí Kristi fi wá sí ayé láti jẹ́ olùgbàlà àti olùràpadà ayé. Ó pàrọwà sáwọn èèyàn láti máa gbé ní àlàáfíà kí wọ́n má ṣe kọjá ara wọn kan ṣe bí wọ́n ṣe mọ̀. Pé ó ṣe pàtàkì láti wọnú ọdún tuntun pẹ̀lú ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà. Ó ṣèlérí ìgbáradì ilé aṣòfin keje ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí láti tẹ̀síwájú ìsúwọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀ka àṣejọba láti lè mú mùdùmúdù ètò ìjọba àwa ara wa fún àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Ọ̀gá àgbà ilé ìwòsàn fásitì tẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ ìṣègùn ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì nílùú Àdó ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Káyọ̀dé Ọlábánjí ti dáwọ́ ìdùnnú pẹ̀lú àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì fún àjọ̀dún kérésìmesì. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ọ̀gá àgbà náà sọ wípé ó jẹ́ oore ọ̀fẹ́ ńlá Ọlọ́run láti fi ojúrú àkókò ọdún yìí ní pàtàkì látàrí làásìgbò àti rògbòdìyàn tí wọ́n là kọjá lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Ọ̀gá àgbà rọ̀ àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì láti lo àsìkò yìí fi gbàdúrà fún orílẹ̀‐èdè yìí fún àlàáfíà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì kó lè máa tẹ̀síwájú. Ó gbóríyìn fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ilé ìwòsàn ọ̀hún fún ìfarajì lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ wọn. Ó wá rọ̀ wọ́n láti má ṣe káàárẹ̀ fún ìfarajì wọn. Bíṣọ̀bù Kátólíìkì ti Dàọ́sìsì Sókótó Martin Kúkà ti sọ fún ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu pé Ọlọ́run tàbí ìtàn kò ní gbàgbé rẹ̀ tó bá kùnà láti ṣàmúṣẹ ìlérí rẹ̀ fórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Bíṣọ̀bù Kúkà ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí lásìkò ìwàásù ọdún kérésìmesì rẹ̀ pé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tẹ́lẹ̀ tó jẹ́ atukọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lásìkò yìí ní láti ṣe dáadáa lórí àlééfà kí ìtàn lè máa rántí rẹ̀ ní rere. Ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí Goodluck Jonathan ló ti ìránṣẹ́ ìkíni kú oríire sáwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó sì rọ̀ wọ́n láti ṣàmúlò ẹ̀mí ìfẹ́ àlàáfíà àti ìwà ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìfarajì tó jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ pàtàkì ọdún náà. Nínú ìránṣẹ́ ìkíni kú oríire fún ọdún kérésìmesì ààrẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ ọ̀hún tẹnumọ́ ìdí pàtàkì tí àkókò yìí fi jẹ́ àkókò ìṣọ̀kan àti àtúntò orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Jonathan rọ̀ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti ní ìgbẹ́kẹ̀lé àti ìgbàgbọ́ nínú Ọlọ́run pé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí yóò ní ìtẹ̀síwájú. Bákan náà alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour Party Julius Abdul báwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe ń ṣe ọdún kérésìmesì lásìkò yìí pẹ̀lú ebi àti àìní látàrí àìní olórí tó dára. Àbúrò ẹ̀ ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ lásìkò ọdún kérésìmesì sáwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ó wá kí pé àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti máa ṣàmúlò ẹ̀kọ́ wọ́n sì máa gbé ní ìrẹ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà. Bákan náà ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ NLC ti ké pe ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu àti àwọn olórí olóṣèlú láti lo àkókò pọ̀pọ̀ṣìṣẹ́ ọdún yìí fi ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ètò tí yóò yọ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà kúrò nínú ìnira tí wọ́n kojú. Ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ NLC Joe Ajero ló fi ń pè yìí lásìkò iṣẹ́ ìkíni kú ọdún rẹ̀ sí àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní fún wa.
There's no more sorrow.
This is announcing the burial ceremony of a matron, Mama Rachel Ebun Akileye. Thursday, 27th of July, 2023, at 91 years. Burial arrangements are as follows. Friday, 5th of January, 2024, commendation service at St. Paul's Anglican Church, Iroyin Quarters, Ektv, at 10 a.m. prompt. Christian Wake, St. Double Lane, beside Ektv at 4 p.m. One Lion State comes off same day at our residence at 6:45 p.m. prompt. Saturday, the 6th of January 2024, final burial service at our residence at 9 a.m. prompt. Internet follows immediately at the same venue. While Thanksgiving service comes up at CAC Zona Headquarters, Okeibala 2 Iroyin Ektv at 10 a.m. prompt. And reception at Civic Hall and Grounds, Ektv, Ekiti State. Mama is survived by children. Adieu, Mama.
ìmọ̀mọ́rẹ́sẹ̀ lẹ́bùnú akílẹ̀yẹ kó túbọ̀ gbóhùn sọ̀rọ̀ ire. ọmọ ògùn ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ olówó àrìjẹrẹ dùn. ọmọ ògìsàn ìdádé àbárẹ̀ ìdádé láòfin. ọmọ ọwọ́ ọmọ ẹkùn burú àdé ọmọ ẹkùn kẹrin torówó tàdé. ọ̀rẹ́ ìdùgbà àti yìnrìnyìn sunkún ara igi ọ̀dọ̀lá.
Answer the children.
ìràwọ̀tàn àbí ìsáyé àwọn òye mẹ́ta tọ̀ wá wọ́n ta lọ rẹ̀ Jésù Kristi ló kọ rẹ̀ aleluya.
ẹ̀kọ́ mi ṣe káàkiri ìfowó ọdún o ètè ìdíje o.
lórúkọ ọ̀mọ̀wé sẹ́nitọ̀ Michael Ọ̀pẹ́yẹmí èèyàn rere àárín gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì tó tún jẹ́ senate leader nílùú Àbújá ló lo àkókò ọdún kérésìmesì Kristi fún ọdún fún ìyèdún pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ràn láti ṣọdún ní pẹ̀lẹ́kùtù ká máa lo àkókò ìbí Jésù sáyé fún àdúrà àti ìṣọ̀kan tó lè jẹ́ kí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí àti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ó túbọ̀ bùyẹ̀rì sí i. ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè yìí lè padà bọ̀ sípò kọ́dún kérésìmesì àtọdún tuntun kó má jẹ́ lórí oúnjẹ nìkan. ẹ̀mí wa tó ṣe ọdún yìí yóò ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. ǹjẹ́ ọ̀mọ̀wé sẹ́nitọ̀ Michael Ọ̀pẹ́yẹmí Bámidélé sẹ́nitọ̀ tó ṣojú àárín gbogbo jalo ní akú ọdún akú ìyèdún ẹ̀mí á ṣe púpọ̀.
ẹ̀kọ́ mi ṣe káàkiri ìfowó ọdún o ètè ìdíje o.
ẹ káàbọ̀. ó lé ní 250 àwọn àgbààgbà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ló ń ṣètò ìrónilágbára fún pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọgọ́rùn-ún náírà lábẹ́ àkànṣe ètò ìrètí ọ̀tun pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn aya ààrẹ ilẹ̀ yìí sẹ́nitọ̀ Olúrẹ̀mí Tinubu. òun níwèé ní owó náà nílùú Àdó sẹ́nitọ̀ Tinubu tí aya gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ọ̀mọ̀wé Ọláyẹmí Abíọ́dún Oyèbánjí sojú fún sọ wípé ètò àdínkù bá ìnira àjọ̀dún kérésìmesì yìí. Adébọ́lá Adélékè múròyìn wá ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀.
present nǹkan tí mọ́mì wa mọ́mì sẹ́nitọ̀ Olúrẹ̀mí Tinubu ní ká fún yín kẹ́ ṣọdún ṣùgbọ́n ká wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ṣẹlẹ̀ àtẹ̀mọ́ kátà fi sílẹ̀ agán ni òní àtúwọ̀ ayé lọ pọ̀ nígbà tó bá jẹ́ àtúwọ̀ wá lórí ọ̀kadà lágbàá wọn wá nílé ìwé náà ṣe láìpé wá gán.
Sẹ́nẹ́tọ̀ Tinubu ṣàlàyé níbi ètò ìrónilágbára náà tó wáyé káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ ní láti ṣàyẹ̀sí àwọn wọn fún ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ó sọ pé owó tíye rẹ̀ jẹ́ mílíọ̀nù 50 kan náírà ní àjọ tó wà fún ètò ìrètí ọ̀tun fọwọ́ sí, nínú èyí tí ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan gba mílíọ̀nù 25 náírà. Alága àwọn àgbààgbà lẹ́gbẹ́ òṣèlú APC alàgbà Múyìwá Ìgbàlájọbí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyàwó ààrẹ ọ̀hún fún ànáwọ́sí wọn pàtàkì lákòókò yìí tí wọ́n sì júwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àkọ́kọ́ irú rẹ̀. Alága ẹgbẹ́ náà olóyè Rónkẹ́ Òkúnsọ̀yà dúpẹ́ fún akitiyan obìnrin àkọ́kọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí fún ètò náà. Àwọn àgbààgbà ń lọ níbi ètò ọ̀hún ọ̀la.
Igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì Ọ̀kínlọ́ Àmúnisádé Àfúyẹ́ ti gbóríyìn fáwọn orí adé ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí fún ìfarajì wọn láti jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà ó jọba lágbègbè wọn. Igbákejì gómìnà ló gbóríyìn yìí lásìkò ayẹyẹ àjọ̀dún òpin ọdún ti àwọn ọba mọ̀bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì tó wáyé nílùú Ìfàkì. Sọ pé àwọn orí adé ló jẹ́ ìkan gbẹ̀dẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ Ohanaeze Ndigbo ló ti rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sáàrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu láti yọ̀ǹda olórí ajàjàǹgbara ikọ̀ Biafra ní IPOB Nnamdi Kanu kúrò nínú àtìmọ́lé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀bùn pàtàkì fọdún kérésìmesì fáwọn ẹ̀yà Ìgbò. Ààrẹ àpapọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ Ndigbo olóyè Emmanuel Nwayawo ló pàrọwà yìí ní àtẹ̀jáde kan fáwọn oníròyìn nílùú Òwèrè. Ó sọ pé wọ́n yọ̀ǹda nínú ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n nílùú Àbújá ti lé lọ́dún méjì tó ń kojú ẹ̀sùn ìṣẹ̀rùbàlú látọwọ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀. Àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì lórílẹ̀‐èdè Ukraine ló ṣe àjọyọ̀ ọdún kérésìmesì lónìí fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ láti kúrò ní ọjọ́ tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀. Lórílẹ̀‐èdè Ukraine àwọn ìwé Julian ní ìwé òǹkà tí wọ́n máa ń lò tí ó bá ẹ̀sìn Russia mu ní pàtàkì lásìkò kérésìmesì tó máa ń ṣe ní ọjọ́ keje oṣù kínní ọdọọdún. Èyí ni ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ tí wọn yóò ṣe ọdún kérésìmesì òǹkà ti Gregorian tí wọ́n ń lò ní ojoojúmọ́ látìgbà tí wọ́n ti yàgò kúrò ní Russia. Ààrẹ Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky ló ṣe àtúntò sí ìwé òfin ọ̀hún ní oṣù keje tí wọ́n sì kéde wípé kó pa ìwé òǹkà ti Russia tì tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe àjọ̀dún kérésìmesì ní January wọ́n sì máa ṣe ní ọjọ́ tí gbogbo ayé ń ṣe. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Wọlé Ṣóyínká ti ṣàbẹ̀wò sáàrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu nílùú Èkó láti ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìlànà òpó méje tí yóò mú kí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó tẹ̀síwájú. Lásìkò tó ń bá àwọn akọ̀ròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn tó ṣe àbẹ̀wò tán sí ààrẹ, Ṣóyínká sọ wípé òun ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí Tinubu láti sọ fún un wípé ó tó àkókò láti ṣe iṣẹ́ takuntakun pé òun kò fún ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu ní ìkànnì kò sọ̀rọ̀ lórí akitiyan ààrẹ Tinubu látìgbà tó ti wà lórí àléfà, sọ pé ó dìgbà tó bá pé ọdún kan kóun tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìgbésẹ̀ rẹ̀. Ara ìlànà tóun ti ń lò ṣáájú ìjọba Tinubu. Ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu ló ti kí alága àpapọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC Abdullahi Ganduje kú oríire ayẹyẹ ọjọ́ ìbí ọdún mẹ́rin fún alága náà fún iṣẹ́ rere rẹ̀. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Kánò tẹ́lẹ̀ ààrẹ júwe Ganduje bíi olóṣèlú tó gbajúgbajà tó sì farajì fún ìdàgbàsókè ọmọ èèyàn àti orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Náà àtẹ̀jáde tí bàbá jíròrò pàtàkì fẹ́tò ìròyìn ajúrò ìgílà lè fi síta, ààrẹ Tinubu júwe Ganduje bíi ọ̀rẹ́ tòótọ́ òun. Ìwé ìròyìn lórílẹ̀-èdè sọ pé ó ṣeéṣe o kí àgbéga ó bá iye owó tí wọ́n ń ta àwọn ìwé ìròyìn láti ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ náà ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí látàrí wípé bí ohun èlò tí wọ́n ń lò láti tẹ àwọn ìwé àti ló ṣokùnfà rẹ̀. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Fèyí Smith wòye wípé bí owó náírà ṣe da gẹ́gẹ́ báyìí wọ iṣẹ́ wọn. Nínú òkú ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ fún ti àṣálẹ́ òní ẹ̀dá àpapọ̀lú wa ní ọ̀la fún àkọ́tún ìròyìn. Nígbà náà ó dàárọ̀ ire o.
Come on. your side. What can you say now? If it hasn't been for the Lord who is on your side, what shall you say now? Can you do me a favor? Do me a favor. Can you boast in the Lord? Boast in the Lord. Can you boast in the Lord? Boast in the Lord. The reason I say boast in the Lord is because He has delivered you from the fiery furnace and the noise of pestilence. Can you boast in the Lord? The reason why He has delivered you from the fiery furnace and the noise of pestilence.